out. It was beautiful this morning, and then all of a sudden it started dumping rain and hail. So I'm between the raindrops. Got beautiful blue sky up here, but it's really wonky up here yet. So I ventured out here to my container because I wanted to share with you guys my progress. Today's title is Little by Little, a little becomes a lot. And that's very true in all aspects of life. We just got to keep trudging forward and focusing on things, and little by little, we will find progress. Yes, it's beautiful. The sky is beautiful. Just crazy, crazy weather out here. It's so weird. It was so beautiful this morning, and it had rained. It had rained all day yesterday and was pretty dreary. It's damp, but sun keeps peeking out every once in a while. And yes, Chad, exactly, right? Little by little. That's all we got to do. We just got to keep, doing what we can. And that's what it's about. So I shared with you my project. Hi all, looks like rain heading towards you. You're sending more, are you? All right, well, it'll be what it'll be. We're making do. So good afternoon, Miss Jane. Good afternoon, Chad. We got Carol on here. So I'm gonna spin this around and I'm gonna share some stuff with you guys. So I'm going to step out of here. You guys saw before, you couldn't even get in the door. There was just piles, stuff was leaning. It was pretty bad. And all the stuff that was here, I didn't want here. I wanted it over here. So I moved it and I cleaned out. It was a very big project. It's still pretty cluttered. It looks cluttered, but it's organized, if that makes sense. All of these totes here weigh between 50 and 200 plus pounds a piece. So it was quite interesting doing all this because, of course, the mountain man was away at work, so I was attacking. So that's another reason why little by little I was attacking it, because I didn't want to kill myself. This stuff here is, some of it's for the bathhouse, extra stuff in that regard, but most of it is my canning, things that have been canned. So what I'm going to have the mountain man do is, if you can see the hooks up here along the top, I'm making it get, there we go. So you can see those. He's going to create hooks that go in those that will hold shelves. He did it in his container, so we're going to do it in here as well, so that those can be my canning shelves going all the way across, probably say 3 feet down from the top all the way across over to that chair that's up on top of there. So that would give me all this space to put canning jars, which I'm real excited about. And as you can see, I've got lots of empties, and that's just a little. It is tidy. I know what's what, and each of these totes have a number, and I have a corresponding Evernote that tells me what's in each of these totes. So I'm anally organized, but it's really nice because then I can come in here and know exactly where things are. Now, what I want to show you is what's going to happen in here. This right here is my grandfather's, I don't know if you can see it. There is a treadle under there, but I've got stuff shoved under there right now for the moment. But this is my grandfather's old leather treadle sewing machine. He also put a motor to it, so it is motorized, but the electrical's pretty shabby looking. So if we would use that, we would rewire it. But what I did is I put my jelly cupboards. These used to be used for food, and I don't need that anymore. So what I'm doing is going to organize all of my leather working tools and all my jewelry tools and stuff, all my craft stuff, all my art stuff in these 2 jelly cupboards. I will be working here on leather work. This will be moved and a table will go here, and my weight bench and bike will go toward the end. They'll be there that they can be moved out of the way, so it'll be really, really good to enable me to have the space I need in here and still be able to get in and out. And then what's funny is, I'm going to spin this around again. Back here, as you can see, stuff kind of got shoved right there because there's a bunch of things that's right here that needs to go all the way to the back. And then I will start organizing from this point back because some of that stuff's going to come out and go into jelly cupboards and help me organize things, and I can reorganize. There's a lot of empty totes, a lot of empty space. So I might even be able to move things back. So it's really made things very nice, and it really helped me, and I was really pleased with my progress. I did this all day Friday and accomplished it all in one day. So I was very thrilled, but it was a little by little, a little became a lot. And as you see, if you look at the picture, the thumbnail I used for today's video, you will see that there was a lot of junk being thrown outside of the container, trash mainly on the ground. But up on the truck, I was using the truck to keep things up so that the old dog wasn't peeing on it, but that I had a place to go with things while I was reorganizing. So it's just good to have a plan, and it's good to put these things in place, and it's good to little by little have progress so that the progress you have is what kind of fuels you to move forward. You know, all we need is a little bit of progress to inspire us to keep going most times. So it's a good Monday thought to have a little bit of progress going on to really help keep pushing forward. So you guys have been messaging a lot here, so I want to look back. Let me see here. Oh, awesome. I see what Jane asked. So Shelly says, how are you? I am good. Welcome, welcome. And Jane says, your sky is beautiful compared to ours. Ha ha. Yeah, well, it sounds like you're going to be changing it with what you're sending my way. Chad says, much different. Very nice work. Good job. I thank you. Thank you. And it feels good. It feels good. And this is what this was for. This is supposed to be storage, but also my workshop. And there's things in here still that are going to go from here to guest cabins. So eventually I will have a lot more space in here. And eventually the very back of this container is going to become our butcher shop. So, you know, it's just all work in progress. And little by little, we just work through what we need to do to make things work. Let me see here. Shelley asks, let me see here. Everybody's saying hello. Yes, I made some progress in here. I was very thankful, Shelley. Jane asked Carol how Mason is doing today, and I see everybody saying hello. And Carol says Mason is not so good at the minute. I know that he's in some pain. Shelley asked how Mason is. Hello, Miss Tammy. Carol says he's quite poorly, bless him. Mason is Carol's grandson. He is 5, and he went in for emergency appendix surgery yesterday. And while he was in there, they found a rare bowel issue, and praising God, 2 praises, that surgeries went well, and that while they were in there, they found this rare bowel issue and were able to remedy that. But poor Mason is uncomfortable and in a lot of pain right now. So if you guys would please pray for him, and please pray for Carol. She lost a dear friend yesterday also, and also pray for Jane and Jane's best friend. Her best friend lost her niece to COVID this weekend also. Shelley says, as long as you can find what you're looking for, it works. Absolutely. And I like things being organized. And I also know what I need most of the time versus what I don't need as often. So, you know, you organize accordingly. So Shelley says, Mason has had a lot done to his system. Digestive, that will take a while for him to get used to. Carol says, Janie got rushed in for appendix. While they were in there, they found out he had a rare bowel problem and removed 10% and then stitched it back together. He's not doing so well with the pain meds. Oh, poor kid. I don't do well with pain meds either. They just make me so sick and so loopy. Shelley says, we finished making some jerky today. Now I have some more snacks. It tastes so good, much better than store-bought. Oh, for sure. So Jane says, I'd put a little wood stove in there. There a wall and door in the back storage studio for you, maybe a window too. I saw a slider in one that would be great. Yes, I know. That's exactly what I want to eventually accomplish. And right here in the front, I want to put one of those magnetic screens to keep the mosquitoes out and the bugs out, but that I can have fresh air and sunlight also coming in. So yeah, I really want to utilize the space. Shelly says it's really hard to find the right dose and the right med to deal with pain. Yeah, Mama T is dealing with that right now. They're out here and we've been having a really good time. It's so funny. I am like smack tired. And I know why. Last night, Austin and I were watching a movie and I well, I did fall asleep, but I was also listening with my eyes because I just could not keep my eyes open anymore. And I'm realizing that it's just because I'm not used to having conversation all day long and just being interactive with people that much. So it's kind of funny. It's just like wiping me out. But we're having a really good visit. But Mama T is not going to join me today, but she will join me probably on Thursday. She's just under the weather, trying to get her pain under control. So if you guys could keep her in prayer also, I would appreciate it. If anybody needs prayer, please leave it in the comments so that we can be praying for you. Jane says, poor little guy, but thank God they found it. He'll bounce back quick. Yeah, and I'm grateful too. I look at that as a blessing. The whole thing is a blessing because had they not gone in, they wouldn't have found the issue. And so what a tremendous blessing, and that they didn't have to go through something twice. Shelly says, Jane, so sorry about your friend's niece. Yeah, so much crazy stuff going on right now. Jane says, I know, huh? We didn't think she was going to die. She was actually doing better on Friday, and Saturday she's gone. Wow, such a shame. Tammy, I PM'd you earlier. Okay, I will check. So much going on. I'm like scattered a little bit, and we've been having, because of the weather, having a hard time keeping things powered now that we've got additional people pooling power with different gadgets and such. So, yeah, it is so sad, right, Carol? Shelly, share your jerky recipe, please. Yes, put that in the community, would you please? And Kelly, thank you for sharing your peanut butter cups. I am dying to make those. This morning, I made a chocolate skillet cake with caramelized pecan coconut icing. And oh, so good. We actually had some already. It was like an afternoon snack. Look at that blue sky. Is it not amazing? Bear with me a second here. I got to close this. It's a little tricky. Got to use the thigh and a leg at the same time here. Thigh and a leg, thigh and a hand. Okay, so here we go. There might be a little noise in the house. They're playing games and keeping themselves entertained. So, oh, I want to show you guys something else that I did. I'm so excited. This makes me smile. Oh, thanks, Chad. I'll get back to you on that, though. I will definitely message you back. So, okay. Carol, your bathhouse is you could still claim it, but look what I did. I made it, I girlified it. I love it. I love it. I love it. I wanted to get this dresser in for a long time. So this is small, so bear with me. This dresser was supposed to go here, but it would have ended up like over in here, and I would have had to move this board and put a board in the floor and screw that fast and yada, yada. And it gets it too close to the stove, for the dresser. So I just moved this over here. And I added the little dresser and have the mirror. And I got curtains in, and I ordered a very small solar setup so that we can keep both of these batteries charged and not have to worry about the battery charger often. And I am hoping to get the tin on the walls in here. We will have to see. But I really like it. It's just, it's certainly not fancy with the unfinished walls, but it works. It definitely works. So I just wanted to share that with you. That was one of the things that I had to dig out. That was where the jelly cupboards were. So I had to move everything in order to make room to get that out. And of course, it's not super heavy, but it's awkward to try to carry. So I was hoofing that across the yard. But I'm really pleased. It enables me to put towels and extra stuff and toilet paper. So it's pretty cool. So that was that. And later today, if it stops raining, although Jane is sending me more, I need to lift up this bathhouse so that this door will close properly. It's because we built this to be moved. It is not on permanent footers. So with this being so wet this winter and the ground settling because we were tearing things up, this is settling, and this side settled more than that side did. So I need to lift this side up a little bit, put some more supports under here, and then that door will be opening and closing kinder. You can close it fine from the outside, but when you got to close it on the inside, you got to pull the lock and also lift up the door. So it's a bit of a drag. So that's on my list for today too. So little by little, a little becomes a lot. So always a project. There's always something to be done. Ooh, I'm excited about this too. I don't know about you guys, but I love putting my planters out. I have my hummingbird feeders in here, so those will be going out soon. However, we had a frost. Everything was frozen this morning, so we shall see. I know they'll like it when they finally come around. All right, so we're venturing in. Carol, there's your foot muffs, all crashed out, especially the old boy. Copper's now out of heat, and he's like totally exhausted, so. And here was today's cake. Does that not look yummy? Okay, so I have some things to share with you guys today. Like I said, Mama T, ooh, look at them dry mitts. Mama T will be joining me later on one of my lives. And Mountain Boy's heading home. You know, I shared with you guys he got sick, just a common cold, but wasn't able to go back to school for 10 days. So he is actually, because of that, able to join us here. So it was quite the blessing. You guys can keep playing and make noise. It doesn't matter. Are you all right? You don't look like you're all right. Do you need something?
I want him to get back with us.
Well, he should be back soon. Austin, did you want to say hello to everybody? Yeah, you might want to. That's good. That's good. That's good. You're all perfect. All right, so let me see. You guys were saying things. Let's go back in here and let's see what's. There we go. Jane says, I made the peanut butter cups yummy. They sounded amazing. So are you jumping on here? You're going to say hi. So go ahead.
Hi, everybody.
Yeah, they've all been praying hard for you. They're all rooting for you. And many have blessed you.
Thanks for your prayers and blessings.
For sure. Yes, we appreciate you guys so much looking out for him. He's a good egg and doing really well. You're really enjoying the automotive.
Yep.
Yeah. And you enjoyed learning at Moody as well, but your automotive is definitely your niche, right?
Yes.
Niche, niche, whatever, however you say it. And it's pretty smooth sailing right now. It's not too complicated, and you're learning a lot.
Yeah.
You guys have any questions for him while he's on here? Oh, Caleb says hi, Austin.
Hi.
Caleb just had a birthday. Happy birthday, Caleb. How old is Caleb? I'm trying to remember what you said. So everybody's saying hello. Tammy says hello. Shelly says hi, Mama T and Austin. And Jane says hello to Austin. And Carol says, hope you feel better soon. You're actually feeling pretty good, aren't you?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he was only like sick for a day and a half, 2 days, something like that. But they won't.
2
days.
Almost 3 days.
Almost 3 days, but they won't let him go back to school. So he took advantage and came on down for a visit. So it worked out really good. Shelly says, nice to see you, Austin. You look good. Oh, hey, Mel. Mel is joining us too. Okay, Caleb was 20. Wow. So he's 4 years younger than you. Okay. All right. Old man. Yeah, so everybody was saying hello. So love you, Mama T. Hi, Austin, Carol said.
Hi.
Yeah, she says hello. She just doesn't feel good to be jumping on here, and I'm honoring her wishes because I totally get that when you're not feeling good. So,
okay, see you.
Well, make sure you're in there.
Bye.
In our short, small quarters. He's been critiquing our tiny home, telling us how it's too tiny for all of us. It's working out pretty good.
It's extremely small.
It is.
Get around without tripping over dollars.
Well, they do kind of sprawl. Those foot muffs, Carol, they take up a lot of room. So let me jump back here. Thank you for saying hello, Austin. Oh, yes, I do, Jane. I have some. I just got to dig it out. I'm getting there. Let me see. Jane says, I'm jealous of that sky. We are dark and dreary. It's getting there. It's like it's coming this way. It's kind of funny. Now that when you share the weather, I can always see it coming after I get off my live. It's usually about an hour and it hits us. Oh, Carol says, yeah, it looks awesome. I got something to put my clothes in. Whoop, whoop. Yep, exactly. I got you all covered. Shelly says, I have 3 cousins that work as RNs in different situations. One works in dialysis, another in psychiatrics, and they are basically safe, but the other one is working in wards with COVID. Yeah, scary stuff. But I mean, it is.
It's scary, like the flu and everything.
Yeah, it's scary, but it's just crazy. There's a lot of other things that are affecting us too. So again, we can't focus on that and live our lives in a place of fear and worry out of it, but just take the precautions you need to based on your situations. Jane says, need a dress or scarf. Let me see what I can do. Oh, that would be so awesome. I do have some. I am like a linen and doily junkie. I've kind of got a fetish. I have 3 old suitcases that are full of those things, which reminds me, I got to share this with you guys. I told you I had something to share, but I wanted to get the skinny on it first. First of all, Mama T sent me this. One of her, it's kind of a long story, but her father had married this couple a long time ago, and he has recently passed, but the woman still makes these, and her name is Karen. And when they were up visiting, when Mama T was visiting her cousin, this Karen was there and gave her a bunch of these. So I got one of these donated to me too. So I always love handmade things. You guys know that. But this is the one thing that I'm really excited about. This, you hear me talking about quilts, how much I would love to learn to make a quilt, and how Grandma Trayer used to make quilts and made beautiful quilts. Well, this came in a box of treasures. The Mountain Man will be sharing his treasures with you. And I showed you the salt and pepper shakers I got. Well, Grandma Trayer just recently made this from scraps that she made. And I mentioned that her fingers are bad and she hasn't been able to quilt for some time, but she took the time to quilt. She also recently made me a doily as well that goes actually up on my washstand, and it was like a perfect fit. It was like she knew I needed it and just the size. But I'm like kind of trying to pull this up so you can, oh, look at the heart. I know I just saw a heart somewhere. Where did I see it? I'm looking upside down. I thought for sure I saw a heart on here. Maybe I'm losing my marbles. No, I guess it's not. It was the way it looked. I'm seeing this. But anyway, isn't this beautiful? This was all of her scrap material, but it turned out so pretty. I'm trying to keep pulling it up so you can see the different fabrics. I'm not sure the exact size of this, but I absolutely love this. I think this is awesome. So what an awesome gift. Because like I told you, I love having heirlooms. I love having things that people make. And this is a real treasure for me because I know that she, isn't as readily able to make things like this like she used to. So what a treat. So I wanted to share that with you guys. I've had it for a couple weeks now, but I wanted to find out the story behind it because I thought maybe it was something she made a while ago. And I was just getting it now because she had located it, but she actually made it recently. So I'm like so excited. I love this stuff. I love this stuff. So let me put that away. So that was one of my treasures. So how are you guys doing? What kind of prayer needs do you have? And I'm going to do my best to encourage you guys into your week. My lives are probably not going to be as long as they have been just because I have guests and I want to be able to spend as much time with them as I can. But I also want to keep in touch with you guys and enjoy time with you guys. So let me see here. Let me jump back. So Jane says, Austin, let us know if you ever need anything or help. We're not too far from you.
Thanks.
He says, thank you. Yeah, we'll have to connect you guys. I can't tell you how my heart feels when you offer such things because it's so nice to know that there's someone in between us in the event that he does need something. So I really, really appreciate that. Shelly says, I'm so happy that Austin has found what he is loving to learn his automotive. Yeah, he's doing great. And it's so cool. It's just so neat to see him thriving. And enjoying it. And it's easy for him. And I think a lot of that has to do with the fact that he's so passionate about it. Jane says, nice. Mill says, beautiful. Hello, Miss Deb. She says, how gorgeous, Tammy. I know. I'm like so excited. I'm going to have to find a neat spot for that. Carol says, wow, that quilt is amazing. I know. So now I need to learn how to do it. When she was teaching me how to do doilies, she really got a kick out of it. I was her entertainment because my consistency wasn't there and my tension wasn't there. So, you know, being that she's the expert and does amazing things with her crocheting, she just found it very humorous. Deb says, howdy, Carol and all. So Shelly says that quilt has dual purposes as a nice blanket for the couch for snuggling with your honey, or you could use it to cover your large window if it is really windy and cold out. I could do that. I just ordered curtains, by the way. I ordered blackout curtains, which I hated to do because I don't want to block my view. But with the morning sun hitting this part of the house, it gets so hot in here. And then with us using the stove in the morning still, it cooks us out. So, and I also want to be able to write here. So early morning hours are great to be able to write here, but as the sun comes up and really starts beating on the house, I can't even see or sit here because I just get baked out. But I got blackout curtains for here and for the door, and I think that that'll be really nice and help keep the heat out for this summer. Deb says, howdy, Austin. Did I miss any introductory? Not yet. Mama T is going to join us later. She is just under the weather today and a lot of pain, so please pray for her. May I share what you have going on? I didn't disclose that. Okay, so 2 weeks ago when I asked you to start praying for her, she ended up in this intense amount of pain in her hip, and she didn't do any. Was it your knee that started first?
The nerve in the knee. No.
Okay.
But the knee was so bad.
Okay. Well, she ended up with the pain in her hip and was really sore and went to the doctor and found that she had bone on bone. So she needs a hip replacement. And of course, didn't want to do that knowing that they already had their tickets purchased and they were planning to come here. And then a couple days later, she ended up with intense nerve pain in her knee to the point that it just had her in tears. And it was just a result of how she was walking to adjust for her hip and possibly that it's pinching the nerve. So she's just very uncomfortable and in a lot of pain. But like she said, she could be in that kind of pain there, and she'd rather be here in that kind of pain. So we're just trying to keep her comfortable. And when she returns, she'll have a hip replacement surgery. But if you could please keep her in your prayers, I would really appreciate it. She's taking a lot of natural things that are helping to keep the pain at bay. But yeah, she said tolerable. So, so just keep her in your prayers. Actually, it would be wonderful wall art also. I know I thought about that. I'm running out of wall space, so what I'm going to have to do is periodically rotate things in and out. But yes, and wait till you see, Mama Treyer brought me something really cool. I knew she was bringing it because we were measuring for it and deciding where to put it. But once we put it up, it'll probably, maybe Thursday, I'll be able to show you, or next week one day, we'll get it up, and I want to show you what she made. She does some really neat stuff, and I'm real excited about it. So I'll share that with you then. Let me see. Deb says, introductions. Are the folks there yet? Yes, they got here Friday. Papa T is out running errands right now, and Mama T is holding down the couch and trying to be pain-free. Shelly says, I would love to make a king-size quilt for my son and his partner for when they get married. They are talking about it, but that is what I would like to make for them. Oh, that's really awesome. That'll be really nice, Shelly. Those are the best gifts. I love that. Carol says, we love you, Mama T.
Oh, I love them too. I enjoy joining in this, but not today.
I don't know if you could hear her. She says she loves you guys too and enjoys joining in, but just not today, she said. I asked her, like I said, I asked her how she felt about it, and I totally respect her wishes. When you're under the weather, even though it's a good distraction, when you're in that kind of pain, it's just not fun. So So we're letting her chill. We were playing Farkle. If you're familiar with dice games, that's a really fun one. And we've been playing 13, which is a card game. Now the sun's out and it's beautiful. Well, at least we're getting good power now, right?
We're getting power now?
Not on that. I shut the inverter off. I'm letting everything like replenish because it was down pretty low. Mama T, stay out of my bathhouse, lol. Ah. Deb says, praying for you, Mama T, and your pain to subside. I can relate to the knee pain. Yeah, Deb has pain in her knee. And luckily with Mama T's knees, they did check her knees to make sure there wasn't issues there too, that maybe there was bone on bone. But her knees are fine. It's just a result of everything else she has going on. Hello, Miss Laura. And everybody's saying hello to each other. So I want to read some things to you guys today. Hopefully I did not check that they came over. I hope they did. I've always got to get it. I have to read them off of one machine and I can't read off of this one while I'm live. So again, today's title is Little by Little, a Little Becomes a Lot. And you know, we can get really very easily overwhelmed in life with everything, not just little projects, but just everything that is on our plate. And oftentimes when we get overwhelmed, we become debilitated. And once you're debilitated like that, it's hard to focus and know even what direction to head in. A lot of people just kind of stalemate and struggle with where to go next. And the thing is, when we start to learn how to just do a little bit at a time and focus on what we can, you know, a little bit at a time, you turn around and you've made a lot of progress. So I just want to remind you guys not to be discouraged. I know many of you are dealing with some health issues right now, and that can be really overwhelming and really kind of take the wind out of your sail. Also, if you're dealing with health issues within your family and others and friends, you know, that too can be really draining. And I just want to encourage you guys to just keep putting one foot in front of the other and focusing on a little bit at a time. You know, sometimes when we're in certain situations, sometimes we don't feel like we want to do anything. But the other thing you got to keep in mind is doing something small, something little will help to keep you distracted from the struggles you have going on in your life. So I just wanted to encourage you guys because I know many of you are just dealing with all kinds of things, and we all are, but it's really crazy. Like we said, last Monday, there was some heavy weights on this community, and the enemy was trying to break us. But I'm so proud of our community because everybody was pretty in tune with that, and everybody was feeling it, and everybody started praying. And, you know, that's the other thing. As you guys are dealing with things, the more we each know of each other's struggles that we can continue to pray for each other, the better off it is. So, you know, if you have prayer requests, please don't hesitate to ask. And even if you don't feel comfortable sharing what your prayer is, just ask for unspoken prayers. We don't need to know the details. God knows them, and that's enough, you know. So a little at a time, guys. Jane, have you made any progress with things? Let me see here. Oh, that's right. Toika's not on here. Thank you, Carol. Toika was feeling better. Bless her. Yes, absolutely. And we need to keep praying for her. Yep. Laura says, just do a little each day. That's my motto. And you know what? That's all you can do. And you know what? Show yourself grace when you aren't able to, because sometimes you just can't. Last Friday, not this past, but the Friday before, I was toast. I was absolutely toast. I felt like I was dying. And you know what? You got to give yourself grace when you're in these positions, because when you are dealing with intense pain and struggles, you know, the first thing that comes to mind is I'm worthless. I'm inept. I can't do. I'm sorry that you're having to do everything. You know what? We got to show ourselves grace, and we need to understand that many people enjoy being able to step up to the plate and helping when you're in those situations, because typically you're the one that's doing that helping. So, you know, allow people to lend a hand and to be there for you and to help you, and just rest in the place that God has you at the moment. Don't start beating yourself up, because it's the worst thing you can do. So Shelly says, does Mama T take any vitamin D?
Yes.
Yes. And she says, I know that if I am in pain, I need to increase it. She can take up to 10,000 units a day, and I found it helped me. Turmeric is another good pain remedy. Yeah.
I like that. I put that in all my food.
Yeah, she says she eats that in all of her food. Right now, she's taking wild lettuce, which is really helping her, and she's doing a combination of essential oils. And she did have to.
And I took
Yeah,
two Vicodin,
her pain is pretty intense, so she has had to use some of the other additional medications that have been prescribed to her. And Papa T is getting some pain patches for her today to see if we can get her a little more comfortable. So Jane says, praises Carol, such good news. Okay, on Toyka probably, and also on Mason. Sometimes I get 2 things done in a day. Hey, you know what? It's progress, and we've just got to be thankful that we can do what we can do. And that's all right. That's all right. Shelly says, that is good news, Carol. Yes. And she says, I was hoping Toyka would be on tonight. Yeah, I have to reach out to she's here. Toyka just got here. Ta-da. Awesome. Welcome. So update us. How are you, sister? Jane says, Laura, like I say, if I do not get it done today, it will be there tomorrow. And you know what? We've got to rest in that place, because sometimes that's where we're at. And to beat ourselves up or to do anything negative in that situation isn't going to help us in the situation we're in. You know, positive thinking and positive thoughts, and just showing ourselves love and grace. We'd show it to anybody else. We got to learn to do it to ourselves. Greetings to you as well, Keith from New Zealand. Glad to have you joining us. What time is it in New Zealand? What time is it here? It is 3:15 in the afternoon. Miss Carol is in the UK. And what time is it there, Carol? Probably 11. Shelley says, hey to Toyka, glad you're here. Everybody's cheering Toyka on. Yes, we are so welcome to have you and glad to have you here. Exactly, Jane. Laura says it will still be there tomorrow. That's exactly it. That's exactly it. And you know, I had to be in that place too. And you know, as much as I'd like to get stuff done, sometimes you just need to let it go. And other days you can be really productive, sometimes not. You know, when you're going through a valley, you need to just rest in it. Jane says, trying to send me to a dermatologist now. I'm going to a naturopath. Yeah. Yeah. Did you get my emails, Miss Janie? I sent you 2 or 3 now to your MSN email. Maybe check your spam folder if you didn't get them. Shelly says, Mama T might have to take some of those other meds to get the pain level down initially, and then the other herbals will work. Yeah, she's kind of having to shuffle. We're trying to stay on top of that. So, yeah. And she's also just being cautious. The stinky part out here is that we have such uneven ground. I mean, it is just terrible. You know, we don't have paved anything. It's just completely all uneven ground, and that's really rough on our hips. So we get her in here. We get her comfortable. She can stand, walk around. In this space, it's flat and just kind of taking care of her that way. She's also just afraid of moving the wrong way or laying the wrong way because it spikes that nerve in her leg. So she's just being cautious, and we're looking after her. Toyka says, really emotional last night and today, missing my mama. Well, praying for you, sister. We will definitely lift you in prayer, and just so glad that you're on here. How are your pain levels? And I'm sure you're emotional. You just went through some heavy stuff, girl. Are you willing to share what the process was and what you had to have done? If not, that's okay. I was just curious. Jane says, Toyka, hoot, hoot. Yep, everybody's glad you're here. Shelly says, great, Jane. My naturopath is my savior when it comes to helping me more than Western medicine did. Yeah, I'm excited that you're doing that too, because so often, and we see it way too much, that the medical system, if it's not in their book, you get passed along, you get laughed at, you get misdiagnosed, you get left go, you get told they can't do anymore. So like we've said so many times, we've got to be our own advocates and keep looking to God for direction, and God always puts in our path exactly what we need. So keep searching. We will keep praying. Carol says, Toyka, we love you. Sending giant hugs. Yes, all of us are. I know that. Okay, good, Jane. Yeah, check and see, because I did send them. Jane says, give mama a swig of whiskey, lol.
Yeah.
Toika says, thanks, everyone. Oh, sure, I can share that. Yeah, share with us what went on, because I know it was pretty extensive, and it'll give us a little more direction on praying for you. But your pain levels are down, and you're healing well. Laura says, lol, Jane, my grandmother swore by brandy. She always had some handy. Yeah, it's kind of funny. My grandparents didn't really drink, but they had stuff underneath the medicine cabinet just in case. Probably would have killed them if they drank it. And they probably would have drank way too much when they drank it, but it was there. I don't know if I would have tried it. It was probably 40, 50 years old. But it was there. Shelley says the naturopath can also write prescriptions for the medicines I do need, but he does the alternatives as much as he can. Yeah. You know, that so much of our medications are causing a lot of our issues too. So it's, you know, if we can find natural remedies for the things we need, we're so much better off. Deb says, howdy, Toika. Toika says, first off, Dan calls me a screen door since they cut in from the front and the back. Wow. Wow. So I know you had mentioned that something had come loose from a previous surgery. So were they able to just tighten that back up and go that route, or did they actually have to like cage in your spine? Because one of our friends, you guys have been praying for him. Pat Kenny's son-in-law had the same cancer, the multiple myeloma, and it attacked his spine. And he's like my age. And he had to have a complete cage put around his spine because it was deteriorating so badly. I don't know that yours was that bad, but I was just curious since they went in from the front and the back. And is it one of those situations where they kind of leave it open to heal from the outside in? How do you even lay? That's just, I'm a fetal position sleeper, so I'm always on my side or my back. I cannot lay on my stomach. So I can't imagine how you're finding a comfortable position, you poor thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, right? I know. And that's funny that he calls you a screen door. Men, they always come up with such good things, right? Okay. I want to read something to you while you're answering that. But I love how you guys are loving on each other. As always, it's not a surprise. All right. This is Acts 4:13. They took note that these men had been with Jesus. To be under the influence means to be controlled by something or someone other than yourself. Who you are, what you are, and where you are today is because we're under the influence of certain people. The company you keep influences your thinking influences your actions influence your character, and your character determines your destiny. Influence is impossible to escape. It's like the weather, always there to be reckoned with. That's why it's essential to monitor your children's use of the internet, what they watch on television, and the company they keep, because these things can influence them for good or evil. And that applies to us adults too. And if you're really wise, you'll spend time under the influence of Jesus. I just did a podcast on that. You'll read his word and spend time with him in prayer. Indeed, the more time you spend with him, the more you'll become like him. When the disciples were filled with the Holy Spirit on the day of the Pentecost, they were transformed to the extent that some folks thought they were drunk. But Peter said, these people are not drunk, as you suppose. It's only 9 a.m. No, this is what was spoken by the prophet Joel. In the last days, God says, I will pour out my spirit on all people. 2 chapters later, we read this. When they saw the courage of Peter and John and realized that they were unschooled, ordinary men, they were astonished, and they took note that these men had been with Jesus. And today, the Holy Spirit, who is simply the influence of Christ, can transform your life too. I know many of you are seeking him, but that, you hear me say it all the time. It is one extremely important aspect of my life that I cannot avoid. It's something that I guard, and that is my morning time with God. And, we've got to continue to keep seeking him in everything, praying him into our lives, into our homes, into our families, into our space,
our leaders. You know, I hate to say that I don't think they could be swayed or changed, but God has supernatural power. So we just need to pray. We need to keep praying, but seeking him and pulling him into our lives is so extremely important. And I know I keep talking about it, but you know what? I want to keep reminding you, because that is the greatest tool we have, is our prayer. So don't lose sight of that, and don't lose sight of the importance of that and how powerful it is. So I want to read something else to you. This is from Jesus Calling. So again, it is written as if God is talking to you. And I love that part of it. Welcome problems as perspective lifters. My children tend to sleepwalk through their days until they bump into an obstacle that stymies them. If you encounter a problem with no immediate solution, your response to that situation will take you either up or down. And we all know that. You can lash out at the difficulty, resenting it, and feeling sorry for yourself. This will take you down into a pit of self-pity. Alternatively, the problem can be a ladder enabling you to climb up and see your life from my perspective. Viewed from above, the obstacle that frustrated you is only a light and a momentary trouble once your perspective has been heightened. You can look away from the problem altogether, turn toward me, and see the light of my presence shining upon you. Therefore, we do not lose heart. Though outwardly we are wasting away, yet inwardly we are being renewed day by day. For our light and momentary troubles are achieving for us an eternal glory that far outweighs them all. So we fix our eyes not on what is seen, but on what is unseen. For what is seen is temporary, but what is unseen is eternal. That's 2 Corinthians 4:16 through 18. And then, blessed are those who have learned to acclaim you, who walk in the light of your presence, O Lord. And that's Psalms 89:15. So remember these things, because I see so many of you walking in valleys right now, and in hard times, and in uncertain times, and our whole world and culture is in uncertain times. And we could leave that to totally disrupt our world and our day-to-day, or we can choose to be bigger than it and little by little focus on things that keep our attention elsewhere, and starting with Jesus every morning and ending it every day with Jesus every evening. It's really, those are my coping methods, and also my empowerment methods. You know, he's very good at adding the supernatural. And trust me, he was there Friday when I was hawking those 200-pound totes around. That was not easy. And that sewing machine probably weighs just about that. That thing is heavy because the whole thing is a cast iron frame. And then, of course, you have the sewing machine and the wood on top. So it was a lot. I got a good workout, and that's how I viewed it. That was my gym for the day, you know. So, but that's what these Mondays are for. These Mondays are to empower you guys to step into your week. And 2 Mondays ago, well, last Monday, we really saw the weights of the world coming down on many's shoulders. It was just a very heavy gathering, which I really don't believe we've had all this time. But like I shared with you Thursday, the enemy is going to keep trying to weaken us, keep trying to attack us, keep trying to add fear and worry to our lives, and keep us in a very poor state. He adds sickness to our lives. He does whatever he can to bring us down. And we need to, like I said, be empowered and bigger than he is, send him back where he belongs, and just keep focusing and trying to regroup, because it is part of life. We have ups and downs all the time, and that's going to be a constant. That's our lives, regardless how we're walking it out. But I couldn't imagine walking it out without Jesus in my life, you know, and I know many of you feel the same way. So be empowered that he is present. Be empowered that you have the ability to call him into every aspect of your life. And if you are seeking answers right now, seek him for those answers, because the medical system, as one of many of our systems, fails us. And it is failing many of us right now. And we need to keep seeking God, because God will divinely lead us where we need to go to get things resolved. I've experienced it over and over again. So definitely keep praying and pulling God into your lives. So Toika says, to answer your question, Tammy, had a bad fall in 2007-ish, jumped over a pile of shoes at Thanksgiving, clipped top of shoe, ended up on slate floor looking up. Breath knocked out of me. Ouch. Ouch, ouch, ouch. Oh, thank you, Shelly. Shelly says, remember to hit the like button. So yes, please hit the like button. If you are new to joining us, please subscribe and click the bell for the notifications so you know when I'm live. I've got a lot of short videos coming your way. I've been trying to get them uploaded and things have been a little slow, but I'm working on it. I've got a bunch of informational stuff coming your way. And we'll certainly be live again on Thursday at 10:30 Pacific Standard Time. Laura says, amen, Tammy. Take all things to God. Absolutely. That's where the power comes from. That's also where our foundational foothold comes from. So,
Why would you get?
yeah, I know. I'm not sure. I'm going to jump off of here in a few minutes, guys, because I'm going to see if I can get Mama T comfortable, and the mountain man will be calling me shortly here. Jane says, we all love Mondays. He's always there to try and interrupt us. Yeah, you know what? But it's been pretty awesome. We've had such powerful, powerful gatherings. It was really crazy how he was really trying to weight us down. And it amazes me, that he hasn't been able to get in more. But you know what? We're a powerful group, guys. He knows that we know how to combat him, and that we're not afraid to combat him, and that we will fight on our knees, and that we are all united and stick together and have each other's back. So he has not had much room to get in, but there was many in weak places that day, and I had to scurry off. So he was trying his darndest, but you know what? He still didn't accomplish it because we all left and prayed because we felt it. So I love what we have. So, keep praying, guys. And I'm glad to know that you guys love these Mondays. I really feel that God's presence is always here when we are gathering. Toika says, then in 2010 fall, ended up with piece of fractured vertebrae bone floating and causing issues. Had surgery June of 2011. They took out fractured pieces, ground it up with cadaver bone and put in a cage. Wow. Oh, so they did put in a cage then. So that's okay. Shelly says, we need these twice weekly visits. They refresh my soul and help to keep us in the word. And I felt it. And you guys, it was just crazy. I think we started the Mondays in January and I just felt the need. I could just see you guys needing the need. And, it certainly doesn't hurt me to do this. We've really gained, and I could just see it. There's so much going on in our world, and like I've said so many times, the fellowship and community is what has been gained as a result of the chaos. So the good always comes from the ashes, guys. Deb says, I just have to say that I watched Glenn and Papa T moose hunt several years ago. Loved his honest joy. Love you all. Yeah, they had a good time. My first elk that I shot was with Papa T. That was an amazing hunt. We have a good time together, and I'm so grateful they're able to come out this year. We skipped a year, which is the first, but because of all the craziness last year, and also because of our uncertainties of being, where we were going to be, and Mama T is not game for tent camping, so they missed a year. So this is really awesome to have them out here. But I don't look at them as in-laws. I look at them as my mom and dad, so they're just such awesome people. Where is Papa T? Well, Papa T is just coming in the driveway, so your relief is coming. He was running errands. He was going to get pain patches for Mama T, so he is back. So my house is going to erupt in a few seconds here. So what I'm going to do is pray and let you guys get back to your day. And I'm glad to hear that, Carol. Carol says, me too, Shelly. So I'm glad that it's renewing for you guys. And I want to send you off on your week in a really positive way and keep your minds focused on the right thing, because it's easy. Stuff hits, stuff happens, and we all just get in weird places. It's very easy to get there. Hey, Caleb, welcome. So, don't be discouraged. Don't lose hope. And when you're feeling weak, come join us, because God is present and we're all here to love on one another. But I'm going to say a prayer here quick. Papa, I just treasure your presence and thank you for enabling us to have this fellowship and community. I just ask that you touch Mama T's body, remove her pain, and just give her comfort. Be with Toika as well. Touch her and heal her body. And just thank you so much that she was strong enough to join us today. Be with Carol with the loss of her friend, as well as bless her family. And Mason, just touch his body, give him comfort and peace, and just heal his body. And thank you for that amazing miracle and the opportunity that you were able to find and direct the doctors to the bowel issue that he was having. Also be with Jane, help her to find answers, and just be with her family and her friend that lost the loved one. And just be with everyone present. Just touch their bodies, love on them, bless them with abundance, and just be with them and help them through their week. And we just thank you for all you're going to do. And we thank you for how you're going to set our weeks off on the right foot. And we look forward to joining again on Thursday. Just thank you for your love and your presence in our lives and here in our community. And just keep us strong. We love you and ask all this in your holy and precious name of Jesus. Amen. Howdy. You want to wave and say hello, or is your hair out of place?
Me?
Yeah.
Where did that all go?
There he is.
Hello, everybody.
There's the man. That's Papa T. And like I said, Mama T will join later on this week when she's feeling a little more herself. Thank you, Miss Shelley. She's enjoy your visit with your family. Amen. Amen. Thank you, guys.
It's a cheap one, but try it.
Keith says, hi, Carol. Another great day in New Zealand. Awesome. Well, I am so glad you guys are all connecting and saying hello. I love how you guys chitter chat with one another, and even have been connecting outside of this. Deb says, this has truly been my lifeline meeting with all. Thanks, Tammy and friends in God. Absolutely. You know what? That's what this is about. I saw the need, and I'm so grateful that I do this, and it works out. Mondays are my kind of weird day. I try to get on here at 2:30, and it's just good to be able to give us all a good start to our week. Carol says, hello, Papa T.
Hello, Carol.
Toika says, back fusion, had an official loose screw for a while. Oh, I know your screws are loose, sister. 8 years later, L4 is now worn, so to reach what was done, went through belly button down. I will finish story on Trayer community page. Yeah, share with us, because, oh, girl, that just makes me cringe. That just makes me cringe. But the great thing is that you are on the mend and you are less pain right now. Deb says, oh, so glad to meet you, Papa T. He just stepped out, but I will pass that on. Carol says, sending love and prayers and giant hugs for everyone that needs it. Love you guys. My sky turned blue now. There you go, Jane. There you go. And mine is actually blue too, so hopefully it'll stay that way. Hopefully it went somewhere else. So isn't that awesome? I love my view. I love my view. My next podcast will have this morning's view. I like to do my B-roll of our skies and of our beautiful area. So that's what's in the front of my next podcast. Praying for Toika. Wow, any loose screws are not good. Yeah, no kidding. I was just joking, but yeah, definitely. We need to really be praying for Miss Toika and all in need. And guys, little by little, a little becomes a lot. Just focus on what you can, show yourself grace, show yourself love, and just keep pulling God into the equation. I am going to jump off of here. I love you all. I wish you a good rest of your week till I see you Thursday, and join me at 10:30 Pacific Standard Time on Thursday. I've got some good things to share with you, and look for short videos in the meantime popping up on our YouTube channel. Toika, we are praying for you. Love you, girl. So guys, have a fabulous rest of your day. I love you all, and I'll catch you soon. God bless.